evening, everybody. You know things are looking up when you're singing it. You're humming away to that tune as you're listening, aren't you? In a nice wee positive mood, humming away, waiting for it to start to talk positive things about Rangers. So welcome to Friday night's edition of Not Another Rangers podcast. It's a busy week. We'll talk about last night's game. We've got a big game coming Sunday. There's lots to dissect. I don't know. Do you hear a strange noise? I hear a strange noise. I don't know if that's Scott in the background. Is there something there?
It's my brain ticking.
Is that what you're thinking?
Because I'm next to the airport, sometimes you can hear stuff. Because I'm up in the loft, so you can hear quite a lot of different things. Hear that? As long as the insects in here about to attack me, man.
No, that's it. He lives in the jungle somewhere. Anyway, Scott, how are we doing?
I'm not bad, Gary. No bad. Different aspect on the Rangers recently. It's been doom and gloom most of the season for myself, I can admit that. But the last few games, I'm not saying I've jumped on that bandwagon. Used to, are still driving, but things are changing, as in we're playing better football. The team are looking more offensive. They're looking good going forward, and I just hope we keep it going, Gary. But I'm still taking every game as it comes. I'm not going to look too far ahead, because I know looking too far ahead things can happen. So I'm still looking.
JD, how's it going, man? You just wiped Kerr out. You just destroyed what's happened to Kerr. You killed him. You bazookaed him, man. Battleships.
Everybody's here, right? We're all in position to welcome JD. How are we?
Cheers.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Good, yeah. I've had a mad day, and that's why I'm a wee bit late. But I'm up the stairs, so we're fine. We're good.
Well, it's very sunny with your JD.
I know it's just that stupid light that that's probably I need to move it down, move my seat down.
And Ricky, how's yourself?
Oh, good, mate. I'll be four positive pods in a row, man. What's happening with the Rangers, man? It's unbelievable. Looking forward to getting into the match last night and the Celtic game at the weekend.
Whose dial-up's that? What's that noise?
It's Kerr and his... Tell Kerr to mute.
Dial-up.
Dial-up. We're going to put 10 bob in the meter.
He's good.
Phone up Glasgow Airport and ask them.
Yeah, we jungle in the back there, it's insects and all these stuff that he's going with. Anyway, so 5 games, as you say, Ricky. 2 wins against, a win and a draw against top 5 teams in Europe. 3 domestic wins, 10 goals scored. Was it none conceded? And I think we've talked about this first couple of months, but right now we're on a form is looking as probably as good as it's been for a while.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't knock our European form at all this season. There's many things you can say about Comont. There's many things you can say about our season so far. But in Europe, we've been pretty much perfect, you know. To be in that top 8 out of, I don't know how many teams are in Europa League. There's 8 and then 20. A bit more than that, is there no? Because how many is that? Anyway, to be in that top 8 still, you know.
36, I think it is.
I think we've got a great chance of qualifying in that top 8. I'll put that money towards Cherny for sure. But last night, everyone was expecting us to get an absolute tanking against Spurs, you know. Even though they've been a little bit disappointing with the way that they've been playing and Ange and all that, but I thought we were the better team. They had little periods, as you would expect, with the quality they had on the pitch. Because you look, I mean, their team was. I was watching O'Hara and that. They were quite amusing at the end of the match on TalkSport. Their team cost 600 million. 600 million. Unbelievable, man. Ours cost 9 million. A Rangers fan called in and was reading it out. 9 million ours cost. And we were fantastic. From that, we just couldn't get that second goal, man. From 45 minutes, we got the first goal and we total dominated. The crowd was on top of Spurs. The players didn't have a clue what was going on. See, if we'd got that second goal, we definitely would have got all 3 points. But it wasn't to be. But you can't knock the players. Dessers with that big chance in the last minute. He could have been a hero forever, you know. We would have been speaking about the big man forever, no matter how pish he's been since he played for Rangers. But poor finish. Great touches, poor finish. But a great night. Take the point. And it's all positive leading on to Sunday. Obviously, bad injury to Souttar. Hopefully, he's going to make Sunday. But Igamani, outstanding again. But I know we'll get into players and stuff like that. But a very, very, very great night at Ibrox again.
Yeah. So JD, but we're not going to pick all the bits of the game. We're going to we'll probably pick out some players, pick out some stuff. I suppose we'll start with the team lineups, which were a bit of a surprise in some ways, with Tiny Redvan coming back into the team from nowhere, and I suppose that was probably the main change, the one that nobody really expected. I think the rest of it was relatively, and by Rami coming back into number 10 position. Any thoughts when the team lineup was out? Were you happy?
No, I was happy when the team lineups came out. I mean, I said that. Like, I always prefer Yefty one further forward, but I think it probably worked. I was happy. I thought the two of them, I thought Yefty particularly, Redvan tired at the end, didn't he? But lineup was probably as we expected. I probably had in the back of my head that I thought he would maybe have started with Dessers and had Iggerman out in the left, but the team that he picked, it didn't even cross my mind to play Redvan out there and play Iggerman in the middle. So I was happy with the starting lineup, and I think just for the game in general, I think I've said this a million times with Rangers. See, when we press teams and we're dogged and we go after them, they don't handle it. And we've seen it in wee flashes against certain teams. Against Spurs last night, that's what we've done. We pressed them all over the park, and maybe their attitude let them down. They didn't think they were just coming up here to maybe win the game, but gave them a bit of a fright. We should have got 3 points, shouldn't we? It was a great performance, but you're still a wee bit gutty this morning. Like, should have been 3, but it's progress.
No, definitely. And I suppose on into the game then, Scott. So the atmosphere. I'm going to pick up the atmosphere first, right? Because I thought, and Ricky was asking us before we started, it was probably the best atmosphere I've felt since Leipzig game. And I know we've been in Europe and played other games before then, but at the game, Scott, it probably was the most, I suppose, intense, the most enjoyable, and probably the most noise we've heard since the Leipzig game. I don't know if you agree or disagree.
No, atmosphere was really good, Gary. I think it's probably been the loudest it's been since they've moved the Union Bears, to be honest with you, because of the other side of the stadium. Usually more people in the room won't sing than they do in the Cotland, but last night everybody was up singing, and it was great because there's nothing better than a full Ibrox singing, because it gets your hairs standing up and everybody's joining in, and that's how to make Rangers great again, as the banner says. Do you know that way? But it's just fantastic being in a stadium like that, instead of people. And I've done it myself, moaning and groaning, looking for something. The players felt it for the crowd. We felt it for them, and you seen that. And I thought some of the Spurs at the start, some of the Spurs players were not going to say terrified, because they weren't. They played in bigger stadiums than Ibrox, and they've played against bigger teams than us. But the atmosphere, they've not probably seen that, because you don't really get that down in England. Yeah. And I think some of them thought, wow, this is noisy in here, and I think that might be affected some. Obviously the manager knew it was coming, he's been there many a time, but listen, I was like JD earlier when he said he was disappointed. I said to you all night, a draw, and I was happy with a draw, but after that performance I wanted more, and it's just the way football is. I thought Spurs had been better, to be honest with you, and I know people are saying, I know Spurs are a big side, but they're a big side who are very, very up and down, aren't they? You don't know what you're going to get from week to week for being Spurs. One minute they can go to City and beat them, and then the next week they can lose to Bournemouth. That's the way Tottenham are, but they've got a squad of players that we can only dream about, the money they spent and stuff, and they bought that stadium, but I was expecting more from some of their players. But I think it was a bit of, maybe the atmosphere got to them, but I thought we kept them at bay. I thought we played really well, and I think that all comes for the front three, Gary. I think that's where it's changed for. Come on, I think this is his front three.
Okay, I see you talk about the atmosphere thing. That's what Raskin's interview with, I don't know if it was Rangers TV or somebody after the game, had said whatever he was saying, and then he pointed, or he definitely, I'm paraphrasing him, but he said something along the lines of, the Spurs players confirmed to us when we were shaking their hands at the end of the game that they weren't ready for the atmosphere. So, interesting.
No, but I think
that as well, actually, it was Rangers TV, I think, or something.
I mean, some of the comments is saying I did credit Rangers, we played really, really well, and the press was great, but I thought after 70 minutes, you can see the players were tiring because they weren't used to that intensity. Some of the players they played a lot of football, some haven't played much, like Redvan. He was running empty, but credit to him because even after the changes were made, Spurs came into it more, but we did keep going, and we still had a few chances at the end. And listen, we do that most of the season in the league. We won all the games, so it's not just doing it in Europe, it's doing it in the league. But last night, It was a really good game of football. I thought it was end to end. I thought they had a few chances. We had chances. I really enjoyed the game, Gary. I thought it was a good spectacle, even for some that wasn't a fan of either side.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we won't go through all the incidents. I think first half, my take on it was we were the slightly better side. As you say, we pressed them high, we pushed them back. I think defensively we're strong, but defensively strong from the very front all the way back. You know, the front three, middle of the park, and the back four all stop them really getting, because they are world class players. You're Son and all them alone. So Ricky, I mean, you've watched the game again today, and I don't think, if I remember right, we had a great number of chances in the first half, a lot of possession.
It was quite we had little moments, but we just weren't clinical enough. Czerny had one of the games where it was almost for him. You know, he was getting in. He was cutting on his left. He was cutting on his right, but he just wasn't able to get like that clean strike away. I thought the best chance was maybe Bajrami, but he was clean through. And I think he could have done a bit better. I think he was the only one last night that didn't really take his chance, to be honest. I thought the rest really took their chance. He could have done better. He blasted it over the bar. And I'll see that keeper. He's a good keeper. I'm glad he's still not at Celtic. I'm surprised he has not been playing for Spurs for years since he's been down there. I was glad to see the back of him when he left to go down there. I've always thought he was a top. He's a giant. He's an absolute giant of a man. His hands are huge. And so we played well and we were in the match. You know, it wasn't like we expected. It wasn't like Spurs were on top of us. So we were in the match, but I didn't think we had... The chances that we had weren't like clear-cut chances like we had incidentally against Leon. We had better chances against Leon, but we were 3-4-0 down. But it was a good performance. I was loving the press. Raskin was outstanding. I loved how bitty he was. That was his best performance and that was like a Barry Ferguson-esque performance in the midfield. I really loved the way that he played. I thought it was 0-0 was fair at half time.
JD, sticking with the first half really. So again, you know, I think as Ricky says, lots of Scott. Put yourself on mute while we're talking there, Scott. We'll shout you when we come in. Right, cheers. First half, I think there was lots of nearly moments. There wasn't any great chances, but a lot of time Czerny was just almost there. And Bajrami, I think he didn't play great, but there was lots of things he was trying to do the right thing all the time, just wasn't quite coming off of what I could see. And similarly, Wagamani, he was drifting way out wide, but all those, the front three were really causing them all sorts of problems, I think.
Yeah, I know Ricky said we went in at halftime, probably 0-0 was fair. I actually thought we played really, really well. Honestly, I thought we got in at 0-0, but I thought we could have capitalised on it. We just needed that moment. And I thought halftime, I mean, the Spurs did come back in it, wee spells, but not majorly. I thought Bajrami drifts in and out, and that's where like Hadji will make something happen. I'm not sure Bajrami's that number 10. I don't know if he is. I'm not sure what type of number 10 he is. His movement's good and you can tell he's an intelligent footballer, but I'm not sure how much of an impact he's got. He's got to throw, he's got to break a net to score that goal. He doesn't even try and stick his leg out, which is really weird. And I think he thinks it's just going past him, but Czerny as well, like, I was getting a wee bit frustrated with Czerny near the end of the first half because I thought we lost. But ball retention at some points was a wee bit poor, but you're playing against a top team. But I thought the first half was brilliant. I thought we deserved to go in the lead. But we came out the second half and done that, so you can't really ask for more. It feels hard trying to criticise or pick holes in it when actually it was just an all-round super performance last night. But it's just that we're almost celebrating a draw, which you would go mad about, but it's more that for me, it's more the performance rather than the result, I think.
No, 100%. It's the performance is the thing, because as you say, I think we all thought we should probably win the game, but at the end of the day, when you're playing against a team of that quality and you're the better team, that's what gives you a bit more hope, doesn't it? So Scott, half time comes, we're all, and we go in, we're chatting at half time and think, I'm going to pick up something you were talking about, and it probably goes again proper. So you won't get much of a mention of many things, but proper. You were talking about how good he'd been, and probably for the whole game he was pretty good, despite his flaws in the domestic games. And made a bit of chat about that. I suppose, what was your thinking on? What's your theory on why Proper's so good in Europe?
I just think he reads the game very well. He anticipates things very well. I think in Scotland he's playing against guys, like I said to you last night, maybe not with the same intelligence or the players he was up against last night are the players they played in Europe. He's up against guys who just run, who are physical, and he doesn't like that. He doesn't like running, he doesn't like battles, but he was anticipating things. He was side tackling, winning the ball back, giving it away. Because he's not getting pace, but he reads the game very well. But I think when he's up against somebody who runs at him, he doesn't like it. And it's strange because he's playing against better players, a better team, and he looks good. But playing against guys who aren't as good as the teams we faced, he looks ordinary. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what to add. Maybe he's just more used to European football. But I think that performance last night should help him. It should say to him, right, I can do this against Tottenham Hotspur, I'm not going to bring money in it, but they've got a lot of quality on their side. Why can't I do that against Dundee or St Mirren, where guys are like taking them in circles? Do you know that way? So hopefully, if he plays on Sunday, I know he might because that should be Souttar. Hopefully that puts him into a game with confidence, Gary, because I think he needed a performance like that because I think we all had written him off. I mean, JD named him Bert very, very quickly, didn't he? So
that's still he's still Bert proper. Let's calm down the now.
No, but I think we had, and we were thinking about maybe you can go back somewhere in January and we can get somebody else in. But I think last night showed he has something. It's just can he be consistent enough and keep that performance up?
Yeah. And I think he's one of the many players that struggle to adapt to Scotland. It seems to be, despite when you're watching European games, they look far better. So I suppose all our other main incident of the first half, Ricky, was Scott alluded to there. Souttar goes down unchallenged half an hour into the game, and straight away you can pretty much tell he's gone off. So a big blow if that transpires on Sunday that he's not going to be able to make it.
Why does it always happen to us before an Old Firm game? We are jinxed, man. Every single time we play them, we're excited. We're finally getting players back. Souttar has been absolutely outstanding for the last 6 weeks. Proper captain material. And he was one player that I thought we could play last night. There was a few that I thought, okay, we could get away. He's been playing 2 games a week. His body feels fine. And unfortunately, it looks like a groin injury. Comont was keeping his cards close to his chest today, but there's no chance he's making that final on Sunday. Egerman, I think, will be okay. I think that's just going to be a bit of cramp. That was just, the manager he's got to be careful with the wee man because he's playing 2 games a week to high intensity. It doesn't matter what that Moroccan chef is feeding him in that restaurant. He should be taking him off after 60 minutes. I mean, let him. He's been unbelievable since he's came in the team, like proper how, like, you can say what you want about Coppin, but how he's managed to scout this guy from Morocco and find him like with the build and everything like that. He's been unbelievable. But 60 minutes, let him take him off before he's getting cramp and stuff like that. No matter how good he's playing, because he's got to build him up. He's playing 2 games a week. He's almost now one of our most important players. I was seeing people putting teams today, and Egerman wasn't in the team for Sunday, and I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with these people, man? Jesus, they need to go on their B license, all of them, and learn how to be proper football managers, man. So, it's a big blow if Souttar's not playing, and we'll probably speak about it later, about our teams and who we would play and stuff like that. And to me, it makes the decision about, we'll move on to Tav and all that, but it makes the decision even more important that the manager gets it right, because it's proper has been fantastic in Europe this season. But then we play in Scotland and his twin brother turns up and he's chasing a boy and he's a dog in a park chasing a ball. He's all over the place. And one thing about their team that we have to be playing against on Sunday is movement. Their movement is on. They move about that, and they know they can pull our defence everywhere. So if you're starting with a defence of Tavernier, Balogun, Proper, and Yefte, I tell you, that doesn't give me much confidence for Sunday.
So half time comes, we come back out the second half. Unsurprisingly, no changes. JD, within, I think, if I remember rightly, Tottenham have an attack straight away, and you start getting nervous again. And then 90 seconds later, Tav runs up the park and just keeps running. Nobody bothers to tackle him. And he just, and I'm watching him thinking, why is nobody going near him? Plays a brilliant ball across. Agamani with a fantastic finish, and we're 1-0 up, and the place goes crazy.
It's Spurs started both halves like that. They went for us within the first 10 seconds of the game kicked off, and then they done it in the second half. But I've criticised Diomande as well. I thought he was outstanding last night, and he starts off the move, winning the ball, we spin and puts it out to Tav. It just keeps going. This is the problem Spurs have got for it. And it was really surprising for a team of Postecoglou's, man. They usually press you like mad, and they just let us come at them. He's ball in, brilliant ball in, and I mean, that's the kind of finish. I mean, that finish, Dessers doesn't score that. The wee man's finish was just world class, by the way, world class. I do believe we've got an absolute gem in our hands, and we were all moaning because we paid $2 million. Where is this guy and that kind of thing? Now we're almost need to sit back down and say, right, okay, you were right. I've heard a few people saying, "Oh, where would he be if we started him?" He clearly wasn't ready because we've seen his first few sub games. He just was anonymous and just didn't know what was happening. Now he's looking at a bit of a player. I really, and he's not just that strong, big. He's got a bit of flair about him. He had chest in that ball, man. He's one of the best chesters I've seen. And a couple of nutmegs last night as well. So he's got a bit of everything. It's just see if he can keep progressing. God knows where he could end up.
Do you think it's interesting watching the game? You know, one of the things that stuck out to me is he moves wide. He moves wide left all the time, right? And need a number 10 like Bayrami or Danilo or somebody that's in and moving into the box, because for that to work, you can't have your centre forward out all the time. If somebody come getting into the box behind them. So I think the adapting of the tactics obviously is crucial and all to actually make him play better.
And that's where I think come Sunday, I know we'll come to that. Like, I feel like he naturally wants to be out in the left anyway. If that's the case, I'm not asking you to play left midfield, but play it as we're front three or whatever on the left hand side. We need to do a wee bit more work on that, and we just need to make sure he's able to do a bit of the kind of backwards work. But I wouldn't be against playing him out there, but maybe more change him, having a wee bit more maybe in a little bit. But he likes to work. That's where he does all his good work out there. That's where. But again, if he keeps scoring goals within that area like last night, maybe you don't want him out there, get in there, just keep finishing like that, because he's a great finisher.
But Gary, him and Hadji and Danilo have looked fantastic together. I've loved Hadji playing off the left. I think he looks a lot better off the left than he does off the right, Hadji, and the rest for him and Danilo this week will do both of them the world of good. So that, for me, you have to play that trio against Celtic. Hadji, Igamani on the left. I think I love him on the left. To me, I mean, if you've got a player of his quality who's like a hybrid striker that can play off the left, still get goals, and you've got a proper number 9 in Danilo who can link the play with Hadji, who's clever to play the balls. I mean, it's no surprise. As soon as these guys have came back in the team's completely transformed, because you're adding much more quality into the team. That's why everyone's praising Coman, and okay, fair enough, he had to put them in the team and make the tweaks, but it's the quality and you see it with Dessers when he comes on, it's the quality that's actually in the team that's making a massive difference.
So we'll stick with that, because I think you've got a fair point. When Bayrami, as we said, probably done lots of good things, but never quite came off. But what he did do was get in the box constantly, and allowing. If you look at the goal alone, the ball comes across the right. It's Bayrami. It's the number 9 position, and Agaman's coming across for the left hand side. And I think it's that fluidity and movement that's probably been, and that was shown up really against Spurs last night. You wouldn't have thought against an English Premier League team our movement would be superior to theirs over the course of the game.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, that was it again, and it was clever. Bajrami's a clever player. It's not. I didn't think he took his chance. I wouldn't be putting him in the team on Sunday. I didn't think he. But I still think he's a clever player. He's a player. It's the same as Barron for me. Like, it's nothing against Barron and Bajrami, and having that quality to bring off the bench later on. This cup final on Sunday, if it goes the way I think it will, I think it's going to be a 16-team game for both teams. It's not going to be 11 players that's going to win the cup final. You're going to need the players to come off the bench, and we're lucky now that we're starting to bring on your Yilmaz, it might be your Tavernier or your Sterling, whoever starts. You're bringing on Bajrami, you're bringing on Barron. I mean, that's players that could be starting And that is the quality that we need that's going to give us a chance to win. I mean, I think the league is done now, but at least to get back and try and close that gap. But to win this cup on Sunday for us would be, and we need it as a club, would be absolutely massive. Everyone thinks that everyone's got Celtic's name on the trophy. They're trying, it's killing them this week. It's absolutely killing them. You see the people back on Twitter today moaning about the naughty songs again and everything. So what a surprise. Rangers are playing well again. Let's go on about all these bad songs. The fans are so bad. So we're playing well again. But everyone just expects them to turn up on Sunday and absolutely give us a doing and win the cup easy. But I don't think it's going to be like that.
No, as well, Ricky, I think our bench is, like, you've just nailed it there. Our bench is starting to look a lot stronger now. You think of the players that have now got to come in after Thursday. There's going to be players that are probably going to drop out. It is. Our bench, Cortez, get him back up and running, get him a few minutes. Our bench is going to start to look a lot stronger than it has done for the past 3 or 4 months, 3 months.
Definitely. No, we need that. We need that because, as I said, they bring on 4 or 5 players and their intensity doesn't drop. We need to get that in our squad and get that, and we'll have it soon, hopefully. But hopefully we can keep these players fit. We've been doing well until obviously Souttar. So let's see.
Yeah, Scott. So talk to me about Agamani, and you can pick up on him if you want. I was going to pick up Tav, fantastic balling, but what I wanted to pick up as well, he also played against Werner, who's been slated by Postecoglou after the game. Very much slated, not you can see Magic saying that, but also in the second half he played against Brendan Johnson and Son, I think, at different points, and not one of the three of them getting any change out of him. And when you look at the last 4 games, was that 2 assists, 2 goals? The St Johnson goal was a big hand in that as well. Do you know, his form's, he's probably the Tav of old over the last month. Who knows why?
He's done well since he's had that rest. There's no denying that he's done really well. It's still a big issue for me against them because he has made a lot of mistakes against them. Granted, he scored goals against them as well, but he has made a lot of errors. So I think it's a big call what Clement's got to make, but it depends on the Souttar injury. Does he go with maybe Stirling at centre-back alongside Balogun, or does he play proper? So that could be the issue because he's maybe taps to start anyway. Like, I think Star's put his tail into it. I think Clement sticks with him. But it's an issue he's got to have to think about anyway. On Agaman, see last night, Agaman, he plays off the cuff. He doesn't think about things. He's enjoyed himself, and you can see he's enjoying himself. And you've mentioned the nutmegs. He can chase the ball any position in the park, head it. He wins flick-ons and everything. He's at this moment in time, he's just enjoying football. He's like a street footballer. He doesn't really. He's like somebody in the fives just showing off. You know that way. It's when he starts getting a bit older, he starts learning more instructions and thinking, I better not do that in case I give the ball away. But at this moment in time, he's enjoying himself. He's playing with no fear. And that goal last night, he's watching that ball come in, but he's on his toes, so he's positioning himself. So when it bounces, he's tucking that away before the ball gets him. He knows where he's putting it, whereas other strikers sometimes wait till the ball comes to them, and then they start to think, where am I going to do this? And they get tangled up with their feet. Agaman's already known when he's hitting that before the ball drops him, because his awareness around the box is superb. And I think on Sunday, he says starting the left, but I think with him, Danilo, Hadji and Kearney, they interchange so much the last couple of games. You've seen Kearney left, Agaman on the right at times, Hadji on the left, Danilo on the left, because that's what the front four should be doing. It makes them more difficult to mark instead of just being, I know Ricky and other folk have said about Dessers a traffic cone, but giving Dessers a bit of slack, he's up here himself. Whereas you're not there on a 3 or a 4. So when you get 4 players willing to attack and you're interchanging, it means your centre backs don't just stand and think he's not going anywhere. 1 minute Dessers, 1 minute Danilo's there, but then he's out on the left, and then I get man just saying, so your centre back's like, well, I'll go with him or I'll stay here. So it gives him more to think about, and just somebody just hit the long ball to him. So, and I think, like I said earlier, I think having the front 3 or maybe 4, if it when Hadji's been in, it's making our teams think more, because we're only causing teams problems enough. We were too predictable. But now with this way we're playing, we're creating more chances and we're taking more chances. We've got guys in the park now we're getting more goals from instead of just maybe 1 or 2. And it's a big change, and credit to come on for doing that. Maybe that's what he was talking about, with injuries and stuff, so you have to give him a bit of credit for that. But I think we actually look better when we're on the front foot. I don't like us sitting deep. I don't like reverting back to the 2 sitters and think, hey, you come on to us and we'll hit you in the break. That's not us. We have to force teams. We have to press teams. And I think when we do that, we do it really well. And it's a lot of it starting for Raskin. He's been superb. And as you know, Ricky, been on this, when even when Gary came in and GT, I've always liked Raskin. I know he hasn't played for a long time and he's been a bit, but I think he all had that about him. He's just like a wee rocket man with a park. He gets everywhere. Yes, he causes fouls and sometimes he gives the ball away, but he doesn't give up. And he sets the tone of the ball last night. He was pinging it forward.
The crowd went mental every tackle he made because he kept winning it here as well.
He did. I mean, he makes mistakes, he's running back. Spurs weren't great last night, like I said, but see when they had the ball, they whip it forward. It's not an easy pass. It's whipped into their players. And that's what Raskin was doing last night, and it was getting us forward quicker. So I think we have to be in the front foot. We're in the front foot. We look better. It's when we sit deep and let teams come into us, we don't look good. That's when we do panic. So, listen, a couple of weeks ago, I said to you, see, I was confident for Sunday. I'm still not going to sit here and say we'll win or we'll win easily, but I think we've got a good chance if we play our strengths.
So, JD, I'm going to stick on Raskin with you just because Scott brought him up. You know, I think one of the things that I've noticed the last couple of games watching him is his intelligence. It looks more intelligent. He's moving into the positions. He's covering the ball as opposed to just running at it in some ways. And he looks much more aware when he's getting the ball. He's taking a bit more time and care with his passing as well.
I think confidence has got a lot to do with it. I don't know why he wasn't in when Clement first came in because he was nowhere near. Let's be honest, but Clement seemed to put a bit more. Clement's had to play him, and I think Raskin's probably grabbed the jersey for his own now. But and again, like Barron was probably one of our best players since the start of the season, but not now. I mean, Raskin's performance last night was world class performance. His reading of the game was unreal. And when he tackles and wins the ball back, if he has to, he gets the right momentum on it. Like he'll win it to take the ball away, or he puts enough power in it to make sure the player falls down, or even that technically getting the ball and making space for himself. A wee bit like Dio-esque. Like Diomandi's good at doing that, but Raskin last night, I know I thought he's a wee ankle biter, and he's not just about the tackling. There's a really sharp technical footballer in there, which I wasn't too sure there was. Yeah. If you maybe go back to, remember, was it Newcastle we played in a friendly last pre-season? Yeah. And he was unreal in that game. Starting to see that same player coming back now. So he's got technical ability and driving forward, picking passes. So he's came on leaps and bounds. And if he keeps this up, he's got some ceilings. His ceiling's high.
Yeah. Well, what has to do with confidence, JD? He's in and out of injuries, and you say, come on, didn't give him a chance. It could have been that he wasn't fit enough, but he's taking this opportunity, and nobody injured as well.
I'd agree a bit. I suppose the first year with Bale and that stuff, I thought it looked a bit like headless chicken at times. He was running about and he was getting involved in everything. I wonder whether being out, he's actually learned a lot more of the tactical side of the game. And
he wasn't playing number 6 as well, remember. Lundstrom was playing number 6 behind him, so he said that himself. This is the first chance and the first opportunity he's known he's getting a run in his proper position. This is where he played in Belgium. This is the player that we thought we were getting. When he came in, when I saw little signs, you were thinking, oh, he looks a little bit like he remembered you. He reminded you, of Barry Ferguson a little bit, but Ferguson's a better passer and was a bit more cultured on the ball, but Raskin's a better tackler. And you're starting to see that now that he's had a good run in the team, you know.
So gets to about 70 minutes and I'm at the game and I'm seeing they're starting to tire badly. And they're bringing on Kulusevski and
120 million.
Mental, man.
150, 200 million quid's worth of players, and we're, no disrespect, we are bringing on Barr and Fraser and things like that. You know, you're starting to see a bit of a gulf there. Diomande could barely walk at one point. You know, he looked that exhausted. So perhaps unsurprisingly, we switch off a little bit. I think Balogun doesn't track his runner, leaves a bit of space, and they get through. And what would have been a penalty, more than likely, is then finished by Kulusevski, who's a lovely player. He is a really good, intelligent player. At that point, JD, are you thinking, so we've tried hard, we've worked hard, but it's going to go away from us?
Nah, I must admit that was the wee spell in the game where we looked tired. Like I know we're top player right now, and we're probably keeping him on. I thought we took Czerny off a tad too early. I thought that was a bit of an early substitution to make. I get it, 60 minutes or 65, right? Let's get you off for Sunday, but because he was a really good out ball for us and keeping the ball. Although the goal comes down the other side, but when that goes in, I'm just thinking, is it proper or Balogun diving?
I think Balogun's the guy, he switches off, the guy plays the ball by him, and then Proper tries to dive in, I think.
So Proper dives in, but see if Proper just holds his ground, and it's shown that Kulusevski could only shoot to that corner. Butland probably saves it, but he reverses it. Butland's nowhere near it. Again, you could maybe be a wee bit critical that he could probably try and get his hand to that, but by the way, it was a bit of a scrappy looking goal, but see when you look at it in slow-mo, he's intelligent. Nobody expected him to do that, and that's why it's harsh to say Proper shouldn't have dived in, but you're never expecting the boy to reverse it past you, behind you, like. So it was a great goal, and I must admit, I thought they would have they had Kulusevski, Son, and Solanke on at that point. I was thinking, oh well, here we go, but no, we didn't give up, and we probably should have scored. We did score; it was well offside, and we should have scored and won the game at the end. Up for me.
So we go and Dessers, Ricky. I'll let you talk about it in a minute, just because you're such a big fan. So do you know what I will say? Actually, to you watching the game last night, and that when he came on, his movement was actually fantastic. See if the ball had been played a few times, he was arcing his runs. And
Gary, wind your neck in, man. Wind your neck in, 100%, man. He was Bergkamp. Listen, mate. This is what he is. This is what he is. He comes on against Kilmarnock. If that was Kilmarnock last night, he's got the finish of an Absol. He's got the finish of McCoist. He's got finesse. He just strokes it into the corner. Another big match. Your chance to be a hero. Come on, Dessers. You've done unbelievable with the Bergkamp stuff. It's fantastic. All you need to do is stroke it into the net, and he smashes it off the keeper. Listen, it's an unbelievable save from the goalkeeper. But if he had scored that, he would be a hero for the rest of his life. It doesn't matter how bad he is in his range. Look at Eric Bo Anderson, people like that. We remember them for just this moment. We beat Spurs, Battle of Britain. He scores that goal. That was his moment to do it, and he absolutely fluffed his lines. And it'll be exactly the same on Sunday, 100%. He'll do exactly the same on Sunday, because that's what he is. Again, we need to get rid of him in January, 100%. And any pretending that he's going to do this and he's going to do that, he'll score against Kilmarnock, he'll score against Ross County, he'll get 2 here, he'll get 2 here. When it comes to the big moments, the difference between Igamane, Danilo and Dessers is absolute night and day. And even the second goal, he's looking right along the line and he's about 4 yards offside. Okay, there was another 2 guys as well, and it was a good line from Spurs. But come on, you're looking right across the line and you're so far offside. It's basics, man. Basics of being a striker. So, no, you're not sticking up for him.
I'm just going to say, just for you, JD, I mean, I don't disagree with you in terms of a lot of games he does, but under the right circumstances, he's a good squad player to have, actually. It gives a different option, a different style. And he will, in the same way that Chris Boyd would score those goals against Kilmarnock and Hibs and other ones that goes with it. So you've got 3 options, which hasn't been the case all season for the last year or so. Sorry, JD.
No, just quick, sorry. Before he comes in there, though, my problem with Dessers is, though, he maybe still has a little bit of value just now, right? So if you hold on to him for too long and he's just on the bench, there was rumours we got offered 3-4 million for him in the summer. If you hold on to him to be that number, we can't afford as a club to have a guy on that sort of money, and that has been our third striker. Our third striker has to be another striker that is costing 10 grand, 15 grand, that is doing the same job. And because as a club, we're just hemorrhaging money. So for me, he has a little bit of value in him. You need to either get rid of him in January or get rid of him in the summer. Shake hands, call it a draw, Dessers, and bring on the replacement as our third striker.
Yeah, and
I totally agree with what you're saying, Ricky. He's got a footballing CV, right? And see if we compilations of what he's done, something like even the couple of flicks last night, brilliant. He's scored a lot of goals. I do still feel that we could get. So I think somebody would take him, and I think we could get a good 3 million for him, and I think that'd be a really good deal for us. And you just need to find someone else who would come on in that moment, and you would have more confidence to score in a big game like that. Whereas I'm confident Dessers comes on against a Kilmarnock or a Dundee would score a goal. I'm not confident in those big moments when that atmosphere's like that, and he understands the pressure of that game. He's going to score. You said it was a great save, right? It was. But Dessers doesn't even raise his head at any point. He flicks, blasts. All he had to do was flick, have a wee look and go, all right, keeper's right there. I'll just put it down bottom right or bottom left there. But he just flick. Everything was brilliant. He just get dead excited, smashed it right off of Foster. So, yeah, he makes himself big, but Dessers doesn't even look at one point to see where Foster is. So that was a wee bit disappointing. But I'm still going to commend him for creating that chance. Create the chance and roll it to side for somebody else to try and tap it in or something, because he's never going to score.
I watched the highlights. There was somebody at the side. I can't remember who it was now, but if you just rolled it, I can't remember who
was it was. Robbie Fraser? No.
Robbie Fraser. Robbie Fraser.
Just rolled Robbie Fraser. And I thought
Robbie Fraser put a great ball as well, didn't he? And it was offside, but see the boy put in a great delivery. The young boy.
Aye.
So, I mean, we've talked a lot about the game. The last bit I'm going to pick up on, Scott, just because we've not really covered them. Ridvan and Jefty. And most people have this obsession that probably Hefty should probably play one up instead of Ridvan playing left back. But I think last night it really showed that Ridvan's directness probably works further forward, whereas his creative potential is arguable. But he's in Hefty's pace, and the two men interchange very well. They can move about. One could go forward, the other could go back. I thought they were excellent over the course of the game.
I thought they were. I thought Ridvan tired because he's not played a lot of football, but I thought he'd done really well. He was driving at folk. He was trying to get involved. He was trying to play through balls. He was taking a risk with some of his passing, but it was coming off. And Hefty's still young. He's still got that mistake in him. He sometimes doesn't follow his runners, but he'd made 2 mistakes in about the same period of play. And Butland joined in with him, and it's like, come on here, what's happening? But he did bail himself out in the end, but he's got that in his game, hasn't he? But at one point, I see True Gary, there's a space in front of him. Yeah. And it's like, just go to the byline and get it across. But he stopped to wait and someone else coming. It's like, just go, because he's got really good pace. He's really, really quick. But I thought for the goal, he should have done better as well with the Spurs goal. I thought he pressed, a couple of them pressed, but he pressed. It was a simple ball that beat about 3 of them. Yeah. And he put it through the defenders. The boy cuts it back, and Kuliszewski's, as soon as he come on, I said to the boy next to me, he's going to end up scoring because he has some player. Nobody Spurs long because I think he'll end up somewhere else. But it just, that's a difference. You get quality in your side and you get a chance to take it. When you've got somebody who's not getting the same quality, you miss these chances. And it's just football. It's just one of the things. You can play well for 90 minutes, but if you don't take your chances, then it comes back and bites you. But no, I thought Ridvan, it was a surprise he played 2 of them, but I thought both of them done really well last night. But I was surprised if he starts the 2 on Sunday, and it'd be a toss up to see who he starts. But I think he might probably go with Jefty.
Yeah. So that probably leads us on nicely. So the press conferences were the day, Ricky. Do you know, I don't know if you've listened to them, and there was not very much said. I don't think the main bits I picked out was basically come up and saying, "I told you this last night. I told you this last night when I said about belief." There was very little else to talk about. Never told you about any injuries. Never talked much about who was going to play. So I'm not sure we learned enough a lot from them.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it was a waste of time, to be honest. It's probably contracted by Premier Sports that it had to be today, even though we were playing last night. Normally, they just continue it from the Thursday night press conference and it just rolls into. But the man, I mean, it was what you would expect from the manager. He spoke for 16 minutes and said absolutely nothing. But anyway, I mean, I was surprised because I know for a fact that Johnston didn't train today for Celtic, but the manager said in his press conference that he's definitely going to play. So I was surprised by that, because that could have a big effect on how we play, because he's been the one that's been crossing the ball all season for Maeda, you know, and it'd be a big bonus for us if he doesn't start and Ralston starts, because that's a huge drop off in quality in their team. So for us, I mean, we'll have to wait. I think it'll be last minute, but we never get lucky with these situations, you know. As soon as you seen Souttar and he was holding his groin yesterday, you knew that was going to be, and we just have to hope it's not too long and he's back in, I don't know how many weeks it normally takes for a groin injury, but hopefully he's back in a few weeks. But like you said, it was just it was the usual with these press conferences. Rodgers was being a bit prickly against what Comont said about the money as usual. He's a right smug arsehole and run up to these games. He really is, like, you know. But we've never been in a position to wipe that smile off his face. So I'm hoping, because they'll go, they're spoilt brats. They're supporting now, like you see it in the Champions League games. They turn on the team very, very fast. So if we manage to win that first trophy, they'll consider that to be a disaster for their season. So hopefully Clement can get that into the players, get the players up for it, and we can bring that trophy home on Sunday.
So if you were lining up, Ricky, on Sunday, and what would at 3:30?
Yes.
What would you be doing?
I'm glad you came to me first. So start Tav, don't start Tav. Start Tav, don't start Tav. Right. Tavernier has been unbelievable, by the way, right? The last 4 matches, what has happened to him, I have no idea. Because for since the League Cup last year, he scored against Aberdeen. For almost a year, he's been utter pish. In the last 4 games, he's been right back to his very best. It is so bizarre. But if Souttar does not make it, I just do not think we can go in with a defence of Tavernier, Balogun, Proper and Yefte. So I would have to start the match with Sterling and just stay in the game, because Tavernier's an unbelievable weapon to come either on for Czerny or come in for Sterling. So my back 4 would be Sterling, Balogun, Proper and Yefte. 100% midfield picks itself. It's going to be Raskin, Diamande and Hadji. And then the front 3 is Czerny, Danilo, Igamane. And just forget about them. Just go for it and keep the defence tight. Keep the defence. Sterling starts for me. It's nothing bad against Tav. It's a squad game. Keep the match tight and keep in the match like we did. We deserve to win the last cup final. That's another problem with these finals. We're in a bad position and we've been in this rut where we're the better team and we still don't win. It's a pain in the ass. We've got so many players need to have a massive game on Sunday, starting with a goalkeeper. Raskin obviously has a good game. Czerny, the usual. Players have to perform on Sunday. So that's the team I would start with. And I said it's going to be a 16-team match. So the players that will come on, your Bajramis, your Taverniers, your Yilmazes, your Barons, they've got to be ready to get on that park and get this over the line for us.
So JD, I don't think you mentioned it, but Butland, would you play after he sold the last 2 Celtic games? Should he start on Sunday?
100%. Fucking hell, man. What are you talking about? Jack Butland's the least of our worries. The least of our worries. Now, a couple of other people associated with this podcast may disagree, but he's the least of our worries. Aye. Shot stopper, different class. He's been dodgy with his feet. I would say so. Aye. Like, he needs to stop thinking he's a left footer. Going to stop it every time. So that's my only annoyance. And not for me. Ricky's team there's absolutely spot on. I think there might be a little. I don't want to have to start, right? He has been outstanding. He was amazing last night. They've got his cards marked, and that's a massive worry for us. And like you said a minute ago, Gary, it's like the Tav of old, and it is like the Tav of old, but that Tav was still terrible at defending the back post against Celtic, and he still will be. So I think, but the only way, I don't know, I would maybe, if he was to play, and I know it's not going to happen, but I would maybe play Sterling right. I would maybe play Sterling at centre back and move Balogun across one and get rid of Big Bert. But I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll play with the 2 centre halves, and I would go with Sterling. But Butland, least of our worries, man. We know you wanting to bring in Liam Kelly. Come on, man.
I was only kidding, but do you know what? So just to talk before I get you to tell me the rest of the team. So if Souttar doesn't make it, do you not think it's more likely to leave Sterling on the bench so he can cover all the different options? Because you're then taking a bit of a risk by starting him, not because if Balogun gets injured or Proper gets injured,
yeah, but Gary, listen, his job's still on the line. Let's cut the bullshit, mate. Right? If he does not learn, this is the 7th time he's played Celtic. Forget his job is on the line on Sunday, because if all our good work that we've did over the last month, if we turn up on Sunday and they roll us over and tickle our belly, and Tavernier's losing goals to Maeda and they're 2-0 up after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 2-0 up at half-time, Kyogo's running off, then Clement has to take the blame for that, because we've got the players to go and take them on now, right? So if he makes the decisions, that's on him. And his job is still on the line come Sunday, 100%.
No, I'm not disagreeing. Come back to you, JD. All I'm saying is, if you think from it tactically, there's a bit of a risk. Maybe Sterling gives you that option in terms of covering things later in the game. So go through the rest of your team then. And
no, I think it's the exact same as Ricky's team. I think the front. I mean, that front 3-4. I mean, Hadji, I think, has got to start because he has played well. If he didn't start, I wouldn't be I mean, it's him or Bajrami. I think I would go with Hadji. I don't know. I'm just not sure Hadji's suited to this type of game either. But perhaps you need someone in those moments to just create something for you, which he could probably do over Bajrami's running power, which I'm not convinced about either, to be honest. But I think Hadji plays, and the rest of the team picks itself. Dio and Raskin. I'm really pleased for Dio, man. Somebody I really wanted to do well, and I liked him when he first came. And then I went off him a wee bit. He just wasn't doing much for me for a while there. I thought the last couple of games, certainly last night, he was brilliant again. So we just need to take that momentum. It's a quick turnaround for us Thursday to Sunday, and especially the effort we put in. But we need the players to just suck it up and go again.
So just Hadji, just picking that. So has Hadji ever had a good Old Firm game?
That's the what. Not, and I think it's hard to say that because probably when was the last one he played? Do you know what I mean? You're getting back years now. He's playing some games in a position to. Do you know what? Hadji's never really had a real run at playing this position, probably since he signed with us, really. He was in and out. He played on the right. He's played on the left. But I think just maybe gets a chance. But and that's the worry, Gary. I think the worry is like Hadji's not. Nobody would. You can't go back to an Old Firm game and say, "Oh, Hadji won us a game in that." But we know he's capable of doing it, and his form right now is probably the best of
Exactly. This is a different. It's not Hadji that was pathetic that was in the team years ago. Since he's came back in the team, he's looked like Romanian Hadji. He looks like a man now. He looks like he's matured. He looks like he's total. Maybe the time, hungry out of the team has done him the world of good. He looks like the Hadji, the player that we hoped he was going to be when we signed it. You saw him all the good moments for Romania, so he has to start for sure.
Scott, you've been patiently waiting there, right? So, your thoughts for Sunday?
Thoughts for Sunday. Now, I'm going to tell you a team I don't think it's not a team I would pick, but it's a team I think Clement will go with. I think Tav will start because Clement will start him. Just because he's been playing well since he's come back into the side. I wouldn't, but I think no only way is because Souttar's injured as well. I think he was going to start. I would start Sterling, but he'll start Tav. I think he'll play Balogun and Proper, but Proper to me is still a big question mark. Domestically, I think Celtic could get at him very easily. JFD will start as well. The midfield too. I'm not sure he starts there, Mandy, because I think he maybe want to contain at times. So I think Barry might come in with asking. But Hadji, for me, has to start over Barami. But he makes a difference. I know you said, when Gerrard was here and saying him, he played a lot for him games that he would be won. So did Tav right enough, but we won. So he knows what it's like to win against Celtic. So Hadji has to start. But as long as he starts Hadji, Igaman, Danilo and Cherny, I think we've got a chance because we can go at them. Instead of the last few games where they've been bringing the ball out and it's only been Dessers up there himself with nobody near him at all. Yeah, we've criticised him, but a lot of that's not on his back. A lot of it's in his support as well. So I think he has to go with the front 3-4 and give them something to think about. I don't think we shouldn't concentrate on Celtic. Celtic are confident they're going to be because when's the last time we got in front of them? Do you know what I mean? Apart from the draw when Atondo scores, we're not really laid a glove on them, Gary. So I think they're going to come into this very, very confident. They probably come into this thinking the game's already won. Some of their fans are already planning watching the celebrations after it. That's how confident they are. But I think if we go in the way we've been playing, but attacking, we can't go in and give them respect or sit back and think, like, we know he can do that, we know he can do that. Like Clement's mentioned, we can't think that way. We have to go in and believe in ourselves. And if we can put the performances in the Europa League, I know it's a different tournament, but if you can go up against guys who you don't play against that much and play well against them, why can you go up against Cal McGregor and Atati? Because they're playing the same league as you. And Celtic are decent, don't get me wrong. They're not sitting top of the league for a reason. They're sitting there because they're the best team in Scotland at the moment. But it shouldn't stop us figuring out there and saying, this is our best 11. It's a 90-minute or 120-minute game. Go and attack them. Just give everything for that game and go and attack them. At the end of the day, we've got a trophy. So they haven't to take it away from us. You want to come back with that trophy. So it's a one-off. Go and attack them. And come on. I know his press conference he said is at a point because you've not beat Celtic and he said he doesn't look at it that way, he looks at it a different way. But in the back of his mind it will be.
100%.
Because it doesn't matter how well we're doing now, he can't keep losing against them. No manager can get away with that. But I still think even if we do lose against them, the board done the sack him. No, this season anyway. But if he goes out with the confidence we've had the last few games, see the end of the game, no matter the result, and you say to yourself, we gave everything there. Like that cup final when Jared was manager and Fraser Foster was man of the match. How we lost that game, I'll still never know when Morelos missed a penalty. If we come away with that performance, we'll get something. But it's coming away from a game where you think, like Ricky mentioned, 2-0 down after 20 minutes, you're thinking, what's the fucking point? So go out there and play like you can play. And just, I'm not saying flying to tackles because we end up getting booked and sent off. But give him as good as you're giving us. Don't sit back and let them wander about Hampden thinking this is ours. And
press them, we need to press them, Kerr. That's a big thing. Press them. They'll not handle it.
Aye.
Press them as a team, JD. I agree with you. Don't press them if individuals. I know Dave's asking if he loses on Sunday, he has to go. But I still don't think that board or that CEO, he's not going to come in on Monday and sack manager straight away.
No, but it's the next 2 games though. You're talking New Year as well.
Yeah.
I still don't think he does.
I know, but Kerr, you can't.
I think that's a lot of money that we can afford at this moment in time, and I think that's the main issue.
Yeah, but the fans, if we lose tomorrow and we don't wear a glove on them, like a few weeks ago, 4 weeks ago,
I agree with you, Ricky, but I'm just
we thought this was going to be a Pedro performance in a Pedro Cup final. The turnaround in our team has been outstanding since the Dundee United match. Outstanding, right? Now, he has got the players to go against them on Sunday, and he's the manager of Rangers. He's got to find a way. Gio done it. Gerrard done it. They're not. That Celtic team is not any better than the one that Gerrard turned us around and got us competing against very, very fast. They're not any. They've lost O'Reilly and they've replaced them. Their fans are on the guy's back that they paid $9 million for. They brought in that Bernardo, but they're not, we can beat them. They're not unbeatable. You know, they were rubbish through the week against Zagreb. That team was terrible. So the excuses are over for Coman. He's got to beat Celtic. You can't keep being the Rangers manager and losing to Celtic at home and in cup finals.
I agree, but I just feel the board don't sack him at this moment in time.
Kerr, I agree with you. I can actually see us get through the full. The problem I have with it was if we go through this full season and no beat Celtic in a game, and I'm no counting it, they come the end of the season when they've already won the league and we will beat them. I'm not interested in that. Let's be honest about it. But my worry with that is then that you're near the end of another season. You're about to start another season.
Yeah,
that's when I think probably during the summer they would need to meet with them and mutually agree. Listen, we gauge you the full season and you've still no beats or whatever. I can't see them come out and sack him after we get beat. If we get beat at the weekend or even in Jan.
No.
I can't see them sack him. I think he'll still be here this season. But there needs to be something said that maybe at the end of the season, if it continues this way, I can see us clawing some points back on them probably over the way we are playing. But we need to get closer to them. That's all that matters.
The last time we beat them was at Ibrox with Philip Hillander's header in a meaningful game. Forget about that nonsense with Cantwell swanning about the park, thinking he was bloody Zidane that day. Now he's doing it down. That's the last time we beat them, which is just unbelievable. That's the last time we beat them.
But I think we need to be calm because if you look at the 5 games he has played, there's been margins between them. I think there's sometimes we've had chances. If we finish a chance, he'd be a bit more clinical in most of those games. It'll be at the Scottish Cup final.
Gary, that's what makes it worse. That's what makes it worse.
Gary, if you're looking at the results as a fan, that doesn't matter.
That's what makes it worse. They beat us when they play well. They beat us when we play well. Like it's like a reverse of the 90s where we used to stroll up to Parkhead and get absolutely. They would be all over us and we would walk away with a 1-0. They're doing that to us now, and that's what we need. That's what we need to turn around. You can't just turn up and play well.
What I'm saying is we shouldn't be getting an inferiority complex against them. That's the point.
No, definitely not. Exactly. Exactly. They're not any. Celtic are not any better than the teams we're beating in Europe. Absolutely no chance.
We just need to go for them. That's the whole pitch. It's about getting in about them, go after them. Nobody goes after them. Go after. No teams that go after Celtic are the teams that they get absolutely their asses handed to them in Europe. Teams that go after Celtic, they struggle a wee bit. So we need to do it for 90 minutes again on Sunday and see where it takes us.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up then. So JD, first, your thoughts, scoreline, predictions, scorers.
Oh no. Wait, why are you coming to me, man? I didn't want that question. Listen, I can't answer that question because I just end up jinxing it. I'm too superstitious for that. But I think if we go at them, I want us to be in that game. What I don't want from is what we've just said, that they come out and score a goal dead fast. We can't be a rabbit caught in the headlights. We need to go for them. And I do think, like the boys have just said, that we can get a result. 100% we can get a result against them if we go for them. But if he's going to be tepid and changes the formation back to maybe 2-6s and stuff like that, then you're asking for trouble. Yes, but I'll go for a Rangers winning Igaman to score.
2-1, mate. 2-1. Igamane to continue this. He's on the Moroccan coffee with his buddy in Glasgow who's looking after him really well. Keep feeding him that amazing food and doing whatever you're doing because you're doing a great job of him. I'll go Igamane's first goal scorer and Dessers, behave yourself, Ricky. Danilo 2-1 will score first. They'll get an equaliser and Danilo will score the winner.
Camden Mystic Meg.
One minute, Ricky. Scott, last but not least.
I just want to say this. I've actually just noticed something. I think JD looks a bit like Cherny.
Quality.
Oh, Václav Cherny. I don't really want to predict a result here because I don't want to jinx it. I'm like JD. So I think it's going to go to extra time. Then we'll take it for there.
So, let's remember.
So Scott Arfield 1-0 then, aye.
Gary Mackay equaliser. I hope we win, Gary. That's all I want a good performance and I hope we win. So fingers crossed we get the result.
Rangers on penalties.
That would be all right. But any sort of win. And you know, as you say, as a lot of people say in the comments, these games can change in a decision, a free kick, a send off, anything. So I think the performances first.
The referees are strong, Gary, because that's
totally agree.
We always talk about referees being all for us, but that debate finished about 20 years ago. I just hope they're strong, the referees, and I don't keep decisions for nothing. And I hope VAR strong because you know what it's like when you come to these games. Decisions we get against is getting worse, but we don't see a lot. But it doesn't in Europe. They get decisions against them. We don't really bother about it. But in the league, they cry constantly about things not going. If things are that worse against them, why do we win all these trophies if there's a conspiracy? So it's total bollocks. So I'm just hoping the referees and the VAR people are strong on Sunday and makes a game good as well, but are strong and don't give away stupid things for no reason.
No.
John Beaton's the ref, and I think he can actually be all right. I think he's probably. I hate Nick Walsh. Nick Walsh is an absolute. He's terrible, man. So I'm glad it's John Beaton. Oh, old Frank Connors in the bar room just to make sure there's no any.
That's a shake. That's shoddy, isn't it, man?
How's he ended up in the bar room? He's a linesman, man. He's like, how's he ended up in the bar room?
God, your name's Francis Connor.
He's going to sit right and he's going to slow down frame by frame any little thing to find something.
We'll go back about 75 minutes to see if we can find something.
And on that positive note, we expect it to be a fair and well-refereed game. That brings us to the end of tonight's pod, I think. So hopefully you've enjoyed and lots of people watching, lots of comments. So please like, subscribe and so forth. Was it 48 hours or so for now? We've got the cup final to look forward to. Here's hoping come 5, 6 o'clock, depending on extra time penalties, we are celebrating and we will be back on Monday night, either with big smiles on our faces or ready to
put the boot in.
It's back on one again. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you next Monday. Thanks. Cheers now.